Hi there, Lindsay here, the Frugal Crafter. Today we're going to do a little experiment and we're going to compare the PanPastel Sofft tools, which I have some here, with some generic ones that I found on Amazon. And we're going to see how they compare price-wise and quality-wise. I have in the past compared the PanPastel Sofft big sponges with makeup sponges, and the PanPastel ones are denser, nicer. They don't soak up as much medium and they lay down more medium, so they use less of the pastel and they work nicer and last longer. So I did find the PanPastel Sofft Tool sponges to be definitely better than the makeup wedges and beauty blenders and what have you. But I was wondering about these little covers because the covers are not as durable as the bigger sponges. So this is what these look like. You get these little plastic palette knives and there's these little socks that go on top of them, and they do kind of get like brittle and dry out over time. Now all of the covers that I have, before I bought PanPastels, I actually bought a set of these little sponge covers, these palette knives and sponge covers, because I wanted to see if they would work with my regular pastels as far as lifting up the pigment, but my regular pastels, they're nowhere near as soft as PanPastels. So then I slowly collected the PanPastels. And I really like them. I think they're a really good value. So when I saw these, I thought, well, that's great, because I'm always kind of stingy with my little covers. I wash them. I try to keep them going as long as I can until they split or dry out. And but you know, I definitely am a little precious with them. And I have used generic eyeshadow applicators as well, and we're going to actually compare some generics with the PanPastel ones to see how they do. And yeah, we'll see where it's important to spend the money and where we can save a little money, basically. So these are very, very thin hydrophonic sponges, so they don't suck in too much stuff into the surface. You can pretty much wipe off what you pick up, which is nice. So what we're going to do is we're going to pick up some colors with the legit PanPastels. Now I only have the oval and triangle in the generics, but PanPastel makes 4 different shapes. Now I will tell you, if you got the four shapes, 10 of each of 4 designs, that's 40 mixed covers. You can get those for $12 on Amazon, but you can get 40 of these for $7 on Amazon. If you want to buy 10 ovals, it costs $6.70. If you want 10 triangles, it costs $6.31, or you can get a 40 pack, which is 20 triangles and 20 ovals for $7 on Amazon. So for about the price of 10, either the oval or the triangle, you can get 40 of a mixed bag there. So I just want to kind of put you there. You're about a quarter of the price, depending on what size you're going to buy, or a little more than half the price if you're going to get a 40 set, which to have all 4 shapes, I honestly think that's probably a little bit better of an option, but it depends on what you use. So let's start off with this round one. I'm picking up some of the color here. Pretty good. Carries quite a bit of pastel. And then I'll use the triangle one. I'll pick up some of this lighter blue. And I'll just kind of go over it in the opposite direction. Let's just do some little marks. We do a little bit of blending. I'll pick up a little bit of a royal blue. Basically, I just want to get a feel for how it's going to lay down color, how much coverage I get when I put it down. I'm using mixed media paper here. And these perform as expected. So now I'm going to gently take these off, set them aside, because I would definitely wipe those off on paper towel and use them again. Now we're going to go with our generic ones here. Now I can see that in the package, actually, they don't look too bad. I thought I saw like a damaged one, but I think it was just, I was looking at it from the side. Let's take out an oval and a triangle. I just grabbed 2 at random, so this one does not look perfectly symmetrical, but we'll see if it fits. You can pick up the generic sets that have the the little palette knife thing as well. I don't know how those are because I don't have them. They look kind of flimsy, like these are pretty rugged. They do look kind of flimsy, but I can't say that for sure because I don't have them. These are nice and rugged, and I've had these for, oh gosh, probably close to 10 years or so, and I've never snapped one or anything. Not that you need to be rough with your PanPastels. All right, they fit. They fit the oval and the triangle tool, so that's good. And now let's go in, I think we did our oval with our purple. Actually, I feel like these might be a little bit softer because I feel like the laydown is a little bit nicer with these. Let's pick up with the, what do we do, the lighter blue? The triangle seems to be about the same. Yep, that works about the same. Let's pick up a little bit with the pink here. Maybe we'll do a do a little ball, blend it together and see. Layering up, it does seem like those layered up a little bit better. Let me try it again though. It could be that this is a softer material. I think these might be a little bit softer of a material. I think that's what it is. These do feel like they might be a little bit more spongy, like not quite as dense. Let me, this feels like a finer, like less holy. It just feels a little smoother. This feels a little bit rougher. I could see a little more texture in it, so maybe it grabs a little bit more. That would make sense why I could layer up just a little bit darker in pigment with that than this. Let's, I'm going to try picking up some white. I'm just going to do it on the other side. And now let me do that same thing with these. I usually just wipe them off between color because I think this is where you risk damaging them, is pulling them on and off. And I think it's about the same, honestly. And I have this on the proper side, so I would say very similar. If you just need the ovals and the triangles, I would say absolutely go for it. I do see I've got more dust on this side than that side, so I think that the PanPastel sponges grabbed more media and left less dust, like here. Can you, I'm just going to bring it up here. Can you see all the dust I have on this side versus on that side? So I think that the PanPastel material grabs more. I don't know if that's even going to show up there. I think the PanPastel material grabs more of the material and lets less dust off. It kind of pushes it into the paper a little bit more. Or maybe the softer one just picks up more and then just drops more. I'm not sure. So I would give the PanPastel tools a little bit of an edge, but honestly, I don't think they're that different. So I'm going to tap that off. And now I am going to go to, you know what, I do want to show you the makeup sponges just because, you know, why not, I mentioned it. Let's see. Let's pick up yellow. Swipe of yellow with that. Now let's see how much more I have left. Not too much on the second swipe. Try to pick up the same amount with the makeup sponge. Actually, it doesn't even look that different, but I do feel like it left me more of a concentrated area there. Let me try, you know, let me flip this over on the back. Let's do it on the thin side because I think that would be about more, that would be a little bit more accurate. So this is the makeup sponge. This is a PanPastel sponge. Yeah, the PanPastel just seems to like maybe deposit more. And I don't know if it's so hard to tell if I picked up the same amount. We'll try that again. Okay, so 1, 2 swipes of the PanPastel sponge. And let's do 2 swipes. 2 swipes of the makeup sponge. It's marginal, but I do think the PanPastel sponge picks up a little bit more intense color and it keeps it a little bit more evenly, but I mean, well, we can look at what's left on the sponge. I feel like though, and it could just be because this is white and this is tan, it feels like this holds on to a lot more color, and this one deposits it on the paper more, so you don't have as much in the sponge. But I can't be sure about that, but it does seem like I waste less if I use the PanPastel more firmer sponges. But I just wanted to show you that in case you were wondering, because I always wonder about that stuff. Is it worth spending the money? And then these are some generic eyeshadow makeup blenders. You get double-ended, 120 double-ended sponges for $6.49. Or you can get 12 single-ended PanPastel sponges for $8.62. So that was much better, a much better deal. I should have multiplied it out and figured out what that equaled out to. But I'll do orange. So I just twirled it around like that. Let's see how much that will carry. All right, I'm gonna do the same thing with this, twirl it around the same amount. Honestly, about the same. I don't notice a big difference between the PanPastel wand type applicators and a generic one, and this actually would give you 240 ends versus 12 ends, so that is that's a much better deal. So yeah. I would say I'd go with the cheap ones on these, and yeah, these came with if you buy the sets of 20, what I recommend doing if you like PanPastel and you want to build up a collection of them, I would start with the painting set of 20, and that's what this one is here. It gives you all the base colors, like all your pure colors, and then I would go for, personally, I would go for the tints next, because that's each of these colors plus white, and I think there might be some extra color there because you don't get an extra white in the tints, I don't think, so I think there might actually be one other color there. Then I would go with the shades after that, which is the color plus black. And then if you find them useful, you can get the extra dark shades, which is which has more black in it, basically. But that will give you all 80 colors without duplicates. So that's the best way to do it. You can mix these colors very easily though. So that's why I say start with a painting set, because you can see if you really like them, and you can also mix a lot. So like, let's say you want to have like a lavender color. So we've got our little sponge here. I'm going to take some white. I'm going to take some blue, I'm going to take some light blue, I'm going to take some pink, and then I could mix it up and make that lavender color. You know, and then you can, because you paint with it more like a paintbrush, so you don't have to have as many sticks, in my opinion. And that way you can kind of have the most versatile set first to get you going, and then you can see, maybe you would rather have shades first. Maybe that's like, oh, I wish I keep going through my black, I wish I had more blacker colors. Or you might be like, oh, I'm going through my white, I'm always dirtying up the white because I want more pastels. Then you could go with your tints. But there's also different like landscape kits and mixed media kits and portrait kits. If you have a particular, like you like to paint one specific type of thing, that might be a better deal for you. But if you want all the colors, I would start with the painting, then tints, shades, and extra dark shades. And then they also have pearlescents and metallics, which are fun for crafts, but I don't find them as useful when I'm painting, but they're still kind of fun to have. But anyway, yeah, so in conclusion, I would say that the sponge covers, personally, I'd probably, if I was going to rebuy when I use these up, I'll just go for the 40 mixed covers for $12, because I have all the sizes of the different applicators, so that would be more convenient for me. But if you are just getting started, you want to maybe buy one of the cheaper sets that has the like, I don't know, 30 covers and 2 little palette knives, the generic ones, they're probably fine. I do like the quality of these, the Sofft tool knives, and I don't know the quality of the other ones, but I mean, for that, I think I would probably start off with a PanPastel assortment that has the assortment of different knives, and then that has like 4 covers for each. I don't even think that's that much, maybe like $15 or something. It's not crazy. That's what I'd start off with, and then see what you use, and then I'd probably just go with the 40 mixed covers. I think they're very comparable, but the PanPastel ones are just a little bit higher of quality. When it comes to the little wands that look like makeup applicators, like these guys here, I see no reason to buy the PanPastel ones. I would definitely get the get like this pack I got off Amazon. You really can't beat it. 240 ends for $6.49 versus 12 ends for $8.62. So it's kind of a no-brainer, and I don't really notice a quality difference there. As far as our sponges versus beauty blenders, I would go with the PanPastel sponges because I think you use less media, and the PanPastels can get expensive, and that's your consumable part. I've washed these, I've had these for like 10 years. I still have all the ones that I've had, and I just keep washing them, and they hold up really well. That said, I have other blenders in here that I've tried that I use with them too. They work great, but if you're trying to decide between do I invest in the Sofft tools or just get the cheap makeup wedges, I think I would invest in the sponges, or like I said, when you buy the 20 sets, they come with different sponges, so you'll probably end up with all the sponges and covers and palette knives and all that stuff that you need just by getting those 20 sets. I'm trying to think how many. You might want to get the variety set of the wands and the covers, just because I don't know if the little sets of 20 have all those different options in there. They have a set of 80 that I think might have everything, as well as the palettes. Like these palette trays are extra. But they work great with a lot of stuff, which is really nice. But I do think you can serve your pastel a little bit when you use the PanPastel sponges. But these aren't bad. I probably won't rebuy them, but I'm glad I have them. I'll definitely go for the 40 mixed covers for $12 next time, I think, when I use these up. That said, to care for these, they do wear out. They do get hard. And when you notice you're not getting a good blend, like this one's hard, I can feel it, and it's not even that used, but it seems like once you use them and they're sitting out in the air, they do tend to dry out. So I would definitely keep them stored in a little airtight container. But like, I'll just show you, this one is just kind of, you can see how you see way more texture. It's almost like using a stick pastel. You see the texture of the paper. It doesn't get into the nooks and crannies because it's really hard, versus using something that's new. Let's grab, do I have any soft ones? Yeah, these are almost all kind of hard. Let's grab one of these ones I just used here, versus using this. See how it kind of fills in? Let's flip it over. So if I'm using an older one, oops, let's go sideways, because it also wants to come off the thing a little bit easier when you're using the older ones, because they're kind of dry and they're less clingy. So you can see that texture. So you can see the texture, and this isn't a very textured paper. Hopefully that shows up. Maybe I should do that in a darker color. Let's do it in purple. And I can feel like it's taking up more of the pastel. So see, we're seeing the texture of this paper a little bit more. But if I do it with the new one, see how it's filling the grain of that, because it's just softer and it's getting into the fibers of the paper a little bit better. So my advice would actually be, probably don't have, take out the ones you're going to use. Don't just cover all of your palette knives if you have a bunch, because they do get kind of crusty. You can wash them out a few times in between colors. Just give them a wipe on a paper towel. Get until it comes clean, and then you're good to go with your next color. I would do that rather than having a ton of these out, unless you're doing a lot of PanPastel paintings, because they're going to dry out on you. Once you get the medium on it and it's out in the air, they dry out. And then store your unused ones in a sealed container, just to keep them from drying out with air. And whatnot. I don't know, once you use those, if you were to take them off, or you were to put your, I don't know if you were to put these in a sealed baggie, if they would stay better, longer, stay more supple. You can let me know in the comments below if you use these a lot, and if you store them in like a closed baggie in between painting sessions, if that keeps them soft. I probably put these on last fall when I was doing pastel month, and the ones that have color are way stiffer than the ones that are fresh. This one, like this one here. This one, it feels stiffer than the ones out of the container, but I hadn't used it. Maybe I've used it and washed it. It's kind of in between. It's not as textured as that, but it's not as smooth as that. So yeah, definitely leave them sealed up, in my opinion. And how I store my sponges is right in here in the shoebox, and I just put the cover on it. I guess that probably does help it, because none of the sponges have gone crusty and hard, even ones that have the some of the media still in them or some stains. I think I washed them all before I put them away, but they're definitely stained. I think it might have to do with this, that having a thin layer of sponge. I think that thin layer is maybe just a little bit more brittle and prone to cracking and drying out and stuff because there's not enough media there to maybe keep it stabilized. Who knows? But there you go. Hopefully that helped you save some money where you can and helped you realize where you could splurge on PanPastel products. I think PanPastel is a great product, great company. Actually, they were bought by Golden like a year or two ago, which is also a great company. And the original PanPastel company was great too. I haven't purchased any new stuff from them since Golden bought them, but all my other stuff is still going strong, so I'm going to use it. Let me know what you think in the comments below. If you have anything to add, I would love to hear it, and so would fellow members of the community. That's how we help each other grow, and we help each other get the most bang from our art supply buck. And until next time, happy crafting. Bye!